Hi, part two. So we're coming to the end of our first week, and I'm just creating a video to give clarification in terms of the integration task and some questions you might have about the organization of the course. So up until this point, hopefully you've had an opportunity to look through everything. You have a good understanding. You've probably done AQ courses before. Some of you might not have. And I've given you that extra day this week on Wednesday to do that searching through to make sure that you know what you're doing. But always ask me questions. Don't sit there and wonder, what should I do? I don't know if I'm doing this right. Just reach out to me and I can clarify. So that's what this video is going to be about, is adding some clarification. But first of all, I'm going to invite you to read the gospel today yourself. I've already done it a couple of times with you guys. Today's gospel is awesome. It also comes from Matthew. So we have a little bit of a theme going here with Matthew this week, even though we're in a Mark year. Yeah, it's a Mark year. Confusing myself. This is good because he calls Matthew to him. He says, "Come follow me." And that's what's happening for us. It's a great gospel for us. We're being called to follow Jesus in what we're doing in Catholic education, right? And I love it. And Matthew's not like an upstanding citizen in the society. People don't like him. He's a tax collector. But Jesus is calling him to come with him, to be his disciple, to be an apostle, to an important role in the ministry that Jesus is establishing on earth, and that we to this day we follow, right? And so what are we doing? What are we being called to do? What are we following, right? So it's a good one to reflect on. I'm going to leave it to you to read it, to think about what it's saying today. So as we go through the integration task, before we go through it, I just want to just recap for a second here that you've got your course outline, that hopefully you're following this is clear to help you get organized, that you know that we have different types of assignments. So we've got the discussion posts or the Zoom calls, like for the everyday conversation of unpacking this course. And then we've got the Dropbox assignments that are your assignments that I only see and I give you feedback. That is more of the private conversation that you're having in this course with me. Okay, so your paperwork is due, like your OCT should be in there now. Your teaching experience form should be on its way if it's not there already. Okay. So that's an important piece. We had an excellent first Zoom day with the part twos. 20 out of 25 came out. I don't think I've ever had that. That's like a record-breaking number. So congratulations. And I think we had a really good conversation. I'm looking forward to future ones. So the Zoom schedule has been established. We're going to be doing mornings, and I'm going to be sending that out to you guys as well today. Okay? So the integration task is like a culminating task. It's tying everything in together. And like I said earlier, this course is thematic based on the Road to Emmaus and Laudato Si. So we're going through encounter, engage, and evangelize. But what we're doing within that is we're doing the basics: scripture, morality, sacraments, and church history, right? And this is in 1, 2, and 3. This is the way that all three courses are structured. So, and then we also looking at vocation, conversion, forms of prayer. That's mixed in with that as well. Okay, so that will come through in the integration task too, like in terms of can you pick all that out as you're going through these themes. Okay. So what are you doing in the first one? So like I said in an earlier video, that I took the integration task module itself physically and I've divided it into the end of each module to add to sort of the flow and less confusion for you. So when you finish each module, you're going to be working on this, and it's not as difficult as it may appear. It's just kind of putting things together, and the end results are awesome. In the past, I've been really pleased with what teachers have come up with, and it's a great, hopefully, tool for you guys to take with you and maybe someday use in your teaching, in your ministry, right? So the first one is you're going to read chapters 2, 3, 4 of Laudato Si, and you could click on that. You don't need the hard copy like I have, right? And then you're going to, you're going to pick a current issue that you can work with in step 1, 2, and 3. That's a crisis in our world, and there's a lot going on in our world. Laudato Si is about the environment, but it's also about people. It's about what's going on. It's the whole thing. We're talking about care of the common home. We're talking about the social factor, environmental factor, the personal factor. There's so much going on, right? So pick an issue that you're willing to work with, step 1, 2, and 3, that you think is important. So you're going to, why do you feel this is an important topic to discuss? How does this issue connect to your reading of Laudato Si? Very simple. You're going to submit this into the Dropbox, right? So pretty much it's just the first part is a reflection, sort of talking about this issue that you have chosen. Okay. The second part, after engage, right? You're going to find, so you're going to keep with that current topic. You're going to find a minimum of 3 news sources that report on the issue you have chosen from step 1. Compare and contrast how each presents the issues. Identifying any biases or fake news, incorrect facts. We're living in a time where journalism has taken a turn for the not so good. Okay, we used to have journalists that studied, that were, did research, that, did fact checks and all that. And now we've got everybody and their brother doing, Instagram posts, TikToks, YouTube, and it's just their opinion. It's amazing. People are being educated on this. So those are some of the things that you're going to try to kind of pick out as well, right? Because as educators, we've got to be critical thinkers, and we have to help our students become critical thinkers too, right? To understand these things. You may do this in any format, including, but not limited to, charts, slides, point form notes, graphic organizer, and you have to include in the following. It's got the list here. How our Catholic social teachings would address this issue. How the Catholic Church in Canada is responding to this issue. Okay, so the bishops put out statements. You could look into the CCCB for bishop statements. How we should access this issue through the lens of our faith without succumbing to the fundamentalism or relativism, following the spirit of the law which Jesus intended. So there's a lot of fundamentalism, very conservative, ultra-conservative, conservative worldviews out there, right? And it doesn't always work, right? Because that often is what's hurting people when people are so litigious. And we talked about that in our Zoom, right? How while Jesus was trying to kind of like look at the law like that, it doesn't hurt people, right? And relativism, we're going to talk about moral relativism in our morality Zoom, right? And how that could be harmful too, and how that's becoming something people subscribe to in terms of their moral development, and it's taking people off track, right? What we need to do as a society to heal those wounded due to this crisis. Include concrete steps you can take as an individual within your school community and the broader community. And last point, any other information about how we should respond to this issue as people of faith in the modern world. Okay, so you're in submitting this to me again, along with a proposal for step 3, right? So you're answering those questions, you're doing that part for completing the second step of the integration task, but also you need to tell me what you're going to be doing along for the final part, which is step 3 for the evangelization module. So in that one, you're going to create a media campaign to share your learning and opinions, evangelizing a Christ-centered approach to this issue. Your campaign should reflect your learnings from the previous steps, be organized accordingly, inspire the audience you want to learn more. So your audience wants to learn more, okay? So this is the part that hopefully you'll be able to use sometime in the future with your students, your staff, something that you're going to create, and maybe you might modify in the future, but you have something that you can use hopefully coming out of this, okay? Because this topic is not going away. We're living it right now, and it's and I don't know what it's going to take to get things better in this world, right? So again, you have to look ahead when you're doing the second one, because you want to see what you want to do in part 3 to give me a proposal with that too, right? So and then you're going to submit that to the Dropbox. So if you need clarification as you go along, if you're not sure, ask me, call me, text me, or just talk it out with me. Say, hey, is this a good idea? I think I'm going to do this, this, and this. no problem. I'm here to help you guys out. Okay? And I think that is it for that. Hopefully that gives you some clarity. I might even do a little bit more clarity in the actual D2L as I'm reading this through with you guys. I'm thinking I might have to change a little bit of the wording, but not much. It's still going to be what it is. I'm always trying to make things a little bit more clear so you guys don't have to sit there and wonder and and sometimes people hesitate to ask me questions. So I'm going to try to make this as good as possible. And that's it. Good luck with it. Enjoy. The end results are always awesome. Peace.